Hello team, my name is Lida Caballero. I'm working on the Bridge Home version 4.0 with Dr. Masud Sayadi as my product owner and mentor. If you have any questions in reference to my user story, please feel free to contact me. And for any questions in regard Bridge Home, please feel free to contact Professor Masud Sayadi. I will post our contact information at the end of the video. This is an introductory video that walks through to the details of the development process for custom sort user story, which is a continuation of the sort real estate listings based on preference attributes feature that I have worked before for Bridgehome. One of the first steps when developing a new user story is to make the requirements of a elicitation, which let us to understand the needs of our product owner. So now let's go to our user story to see our requirements. The acceptance criteria of our user story allows to determine what the feature is expected to provide and how it should respond to the user. In this new user story, we can see the different functional requirements based on the acceptance criteria shown here. For example, I need that my user will be able to manage and customize the attributes included in the sort panel and the order of appearance in the list. The user will be allowed to open a new pop-up window and activate or deactivate attributes based on their preference. They can also apply the changes, and the panel will be closed and activated attributes will be displayed in the original sort panel. We now continue by creating our use cases for each function requirement and a use case diagram that contains all my use cases. I have already created a use case diagram on a StarUML called Customize Sort. In here, we have an actor, which is the home buyer, then a use case customized sort that has an association between them. I need more use cases that contain the entire list of attributes that will be contained between the use case. In here, we have an state association between those. From here, we move into the requirement analysis to find all possible interactions scenarios that shows the behavior and needs of the user. Same as before, this is my class diagram that contains all the classes and all possible functions that I will need it between the user story. We have the sort controller that allows to interact and manipulate the view, which is the customized sort HTML. We also have the sort property HTML from before that is going to display the original model. The next diagram is the sequence diagram that shows the steps and model interaction between the user of the system. So in here, the user sees the new model in the customized sort HTML. He can activate or deactivate the attribute by checking a checkbox and apply the custom sort, and the original pop-up panel is updated, displaying the only activated attributes. Now let's run our environment and see our actual code. Let's go to the virtual machine. Let's navigate through the Wikis Bridgehome contribution, set up development environment, virtual machine tutorial, and scroll down so we can see how are we going to run our front and back end environment, which is this. So now let's minimize this and run this into our terminal. So let's copy this code, these commands. We need to activate the environment, and we need to run the servers. Once that is done, we need to do the same into the front end. We need to go into the front end folder and run serve. Now our backend and front end is running, and we can now navigate through the Google Chrome to see our environment and our page. So now let's see the actual code and the files that I have created for this new user story already. So let's go into IntelliJ. So since we are going to need to display a new pop-up panel, we need to create this customized sort that is going to display the list of all attributes. And we are going to be able to see if they are checked or unchecked to activate the attributes. We also gonna use this line to select a type of checkbox. So this is the one is gonna be activating or deactivating the attributes depending on the user selection. Now, since this is a model and not a view, we do not really need to create a new controller, so we can use the same that we have for our previous user story, which is this, the sort property GS. Now in here we are gonna find this method that is the one is gonna trigger to open the new model that is gonna call show customized sort. In here we are gonna have also the functions that are gonna be interacting between the view and this controller. This is the one is gonna select and check what elements are selected and is gonna apply that to the other panel, and this is when the panel needs to be closed because we want the elements to stay the same when the panel is closing. In the same way, we need to give some styling to this view, so we create a customized sort CSS file where we are gonna have all the styling needed, so it's gonna look nice. In here, the only thing that we are missing is that we need to go to styles, and in main we need to import this new customized sort. Now we can see a small demo to see how this new customized sort is working. So now we need to go to the Google Chrome, we go into the property list, and in here we are gonna do the same. We are gonna open the panel, the main panel, and in here we are gonna see that we have add the customized sort. So click and a new panel is gonna open. In here we are gonna be able to select year build and let's deactivate bedrooms. So when we apply, we are gonna be able to see price, bat size, and year. That are the ones that are selected or checked in this panel. So we got price, bathrooms, size, and year build. So we have total of 4 attributes selected, and that's gonna be shown in here. And the same way it's gonna work the same way as before. We are gonna select year, it's gonna go to the top, we are gonna keep it high to low, and we are gonna apply the sort. So all the properties are gonna be sorted based on the year. So as we can see, we got 2017, and if we scroll down, we are gonna see 2015, 2014, 13, and that should do it. I hope you have enjoyed this video on how to implement a new user story. Now we'll introduce you and show you some of the testing which I already performed using Selenium tool. For installation, you should watch some tutorials available on our wiki, created by one of our team members, Alex Dubois. I did create 5 test cases which are here. These test cases are written on a script on Python. Okay, so for example, this test is gonna check if the attributes are gonna be moved in the right order. So for example, in here we are getting the result page, In here we are gonna be looking for the element by XPath that is gonna be this sort icon, and we are gonna click on that element. This element is gonna find the path that is gonna display the pop-up panel, and in here we are gonna find the elements for the bat attribute. We are gonna move that element and we are gonna click that element. This move coordinate function, what it does is gonna move the element and it's gonna click that element. So in here what it does is gonna click that element, it's gonna move it to the first position, and here our assert is that our first attribute is equal to the move first attribute. And if it passes, we are gonna keep going. We are gonna do the same with the second attribute and the third attribute. Now in here we are gonna test for price, and we are in here we are getting the attribute path for the price list. In here I create a function that is gonna take that path and is gonna this true is the one that is gonna check if we are sorting by ascending on descending order. So for example in here, if we are sorting from low to high, it should be true, else false. And also with apply, if we do click apply, it should be true. So for example, on the price test case, we are ascending from low to high, and we apply that condition to the sort. Same thing with the click to the arrow up. It's the same condition. We are checking for the bat and in this case we are sorting from high to low, and we are applying the sort condition. Same thing here. We are sorting by bets attribute and apply, and we are sorting low to high and apply condition. In this method, what we do is we have a while loop, because we are gonna iterate through all the total houses that we see here. The 100 houses that we see here, we are gonna iterate through all of them, and we are gonna compare this element with this one to see if they are less or equal than the next number. So this is our assert condition. We are checking the previous with the next value. And here this is our last test where we are testing that our customized panel works. So same in here, we are gonna open the result page. We are gonna find the sort icon. We are gonna display the pop-up panel, the main pop-up panel. Then we are gonna open our customized sort by clicking that element. We are gonna open that model, the customized model. And now in here, what we are gonna be doing, we are gonna check for the checkbox item number 4, which is this open customized sort, and the 4th element is gonna be this, the year build, because how we are doing is this will be element number 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, because it's kind of taking like an index. So the index 0 is this, index 1, index 2, index 3, and index 4. So basically that's what we are doing. We are getting that element, the year, and we are looking for that element, and if the element does not find, it go to sleep, and we keep trying until we find that element. And if we try that find that element, then we do click to select that element. Then we apply the sort, which is this icon. For example, if find it, edit, and this is that apply sort. So what it does is gonna put it into here. So that's what Selenium is doing right here. So we apply that, we click that sort, then we look for, we check, we click that element. That element is gonna reposition into position 1, and then we are gonna apply the sort in here, and is again we are gonna iterate through all the list of the houses, but now we are gonna reduce it to 20 houses because this method is taking so long if I run it for the total of 100 houses. So the same, so we are gonna check that the previous price is greater than the next one, because we are checking it from high to low. And then we do that, and at the end all the tests they should pass. So let me show you an overview of how these tests are going to be passing, and let me run all the tests. So for example, in here we are checking the order of the elements. So right now we see that beds is at second position, it's gonna beds is the third position, and we're moving into one position. Beds is gonna move into a second position, and price is gonna stay there. So that's what we want, that the elements are moved in the right order. I'm just gonna close. It's gonna go now through the second test, which is our price. It's gonna check price, bets, I'm sorry. It's gonna go low to high, and it's gonna order by bets low to high. Now we are gonna go into the third test, which is gonna be by bats, and it's gonna do it in an ascending order from high to low, as we can see. Now it's gonna do it by the next test. Is gonna be doing it by price, low to high, apply, and we see that the prices are from low to high. And lastly, we have the test for the customized sort. So in here what it does is gonna open customize sort. It's gonna select year build. It's gonna apply sort, which is that. It's gonna be shown here. Year is gonna go into the first position, and we're gonna be able to see the years from high to low. And that should do it. So now this is iterating through the 20 houses, that's why it's taking a little bit longer. But once this is finished, we are gonna be able to see that all the tests pass. And in here run 5 tests in, and in here it's gonna say okay. So that means that all the tests pass. So this is an overview on how to create a new user story and the test cases when using Selenium. I hope you find it helpful, this video. If there are any concerns, questions about the video, please feel free to contact me. And about BRISCOM, please contact Professor Masood Sayadi. to our emails shown here. Please and thanks for watching.